last session, we're trying to understand on different types of loops, right? We've seen while loop, until loop, and then for loop. Okay, it's the condition, not a loop. And in that, we also saw an example where you can have a inside a loop. Okay, now to continue on it. So let's assume that you have a loop. Let's consider that you have a for loop. So what will happen in a for loop? You will give a set of values. So until the set of values is available, it will do the iteration accordingly. So for the for loop, if you give 4 values, then there will be 4 iterations. So compulsorily it will be going through 4 iterations, right? The same way, if you have a while loop, until the condition is met, it will be going on. Now, there are many scenarios where while the loop is going, in between, if you want to stop, there is no such way that you can do. Okay, that is where in the shell there is something called as loop control. Sorry. So what do you mean by loop control? So loop control means rather than allowing the sorry. So rather than allowing the looping to go again and again depending on a condition, you can try to stop the loop in between itself. Okay, so this is where there are 2 types of control. So control means what? Rather than failing only when the condition is possible or only when all the items in the for loop is completed, in between if you want to stop, then we call it as control. So that is where there are 2 types of control statements that we have in shell. Okay, so one of them what we have is called as break. So the break, which is a command or a statement, because in the script we call it as a statement. Now what do you do with this break? As the name says, break will break the loop. Whatever the loop you are running, if it goes through this line called break, it will stop the loop and it will come out of the loop. Okay. So what we saw is it keeps on going on until the condition is met. But at any point of time, if that break line or statement is executed, it will not continue next time again. It will just consider to the last condition. So it will just completely come out of the. That is where on certain scenarios, you can make sure that the loop doesn't continue. It just breaks at that point and it will exactly come to the end of the loop. So if you have such a scenario, then you can use the break. Now, let's take this example and try to analyze. Now, okay, now ignore this. So what will this do? A, then this is the loop. While A is less than 10, it will print A and it will increment. So what is this is going to do? It is going to print from 0 to 9. Typically it will print, right? Now, what I want to do is, I want to print, but whenever it finds a value where A is equal to 5, I don't want to continue. I should just skip and come out. So if I have such a scenario, then you can see what is that I'm giving here? A condition. So what is this condition? If A equal to 5, then break. Break means what? Completely come out of the condition. So that once it is finished, if I have a last line like this, so it will come out. So now what it will do? First it will take 0. Is 0 equal to 5? No. It will come, add, then it will once again come 1, nothing add, 2, nothing, 3, nothing, 4, and then when it becomes 5, and when it comes here, 5 equal to 5, yes, then it will go to break. As soon as it finds break, it will just come down to the last part. That means it is completing the execution. So it is no more going to check the condition. Wherever you are seeing break, exactly at that point, it will break and it will come out of the complete. Okay, see this? Okay, so I'll say break.sh. Okay, what happens? You can see it started printing. But as soon as the condition came, if I say break, it just stops and it will come to the end of the loop. So that's the reason. The next line after that, what we have is echo. So it is coming, getting it? Now, break means what? Exactly, it will stop the loop and it will come to the last section of the loop. So this, after this, whatever the lines is there or statement is there, it's going to continue further. Okay, getting it? Break means okay. Now let's take one more example and try to find out. Okay, let's analyze this. So what is this actually? If you see, there is one for loop and I'm giving 3 values. Okay. So what it is going to do? It is going to take 3 values and the total loop is going to run 3 times. Okay, fine. In that, for every loop, actually there is one more. So what will it do? First, it will take first value. Okay, it will come here. Now for that first value, once again, I'm saying 2 things. What is it? 0 and 5. Okay, fine. Now it will take one value first. That will be the variable 2. It will come here. Now, what is variable 1? First time it takes 1. Then we are saying is variable 1 equal to 2. Okay. So now this is one condition. Now is it 2 equal to 2? No. Okay. But do you see what we have used here? So this is a logical operator which we didn't see. This is where we are using example pair. Now I have 2 conditions which I have to match. So in a logical operator, we saw or, right? Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So that is one way we can do, or I can use -o. Now, this is another operator where and. So what do you mean by and? When you have 2 operations, both of them has to be, only then the total condition will be true. If any one of them is false, then the total condition will be false. The opposite of or operator. Okay, so this way, what is the next condition I'm giving? Is variable 2 equal to 0. Okay, now is this condition true? No. Okay, let's take this, analyze it. Okay, now variable 1 equal to 1 and variable 2 equal to 0. So now, is this condition true? No, because this is not true. So that what will happen? This is not going inside. Then what will it do? It will come to the else part. So else, what is it doing? It is trying to print variable 1 and variable 2. Okay, fine. Now, once that is done, Next thing, what will happen? This loop is done. So it will again go back to the second value. So now variable 2 is 5. Okay. Now is variable 1 equal to 2? No. And is variable 2 equal to 0? No. So still what? Condition is failing. So what will it do now? It will print once again 1, 5. Okay. Now this loop is over. Now it is coming to this part wherein it will go to the second value. And what is the second value? In the second value is 2. Now variable 2 is 0. Okay. Now it will come. Variable 1 equal to 2. Yes. Is variable 2 equal to 0? Yes. So now condition is true. So what will it do? It will come inside and it will break. So when it breaks, now neither it will go inside this loop or it will come here. So this is where now if you say first just a break, then what will happen? It will just come out of this loop. But we also have one more loop. That is where if you say break 2, that means go to the second loop or the outer loop. So that means it will not only come to this done, it will also come to this done and finish it up. So this is where what you will get the output as. You will first get 1 space 0 and then 1 space 5 and then you should say 1 space, sorry, 2 space will not print because that is where it is going to do, right? So let's try to run this and see. So here, take it. Now, what happened? You see, it just printed 1015. Now, let's try to remove this. Okay, and if I run, you can see what happened. So, if I removed the break and I just told break, what will happen? When the condition matches, it will only skip this complete loop. So that is where for this loop, it is not proceeding further with 2 value. Okay. So that's the reason it is going away back to the next value. That is where you can see if I simply say break, first it is missing this loop. But if I want to miss both the loops, then I have to say so that it will not only skip the first level, it will also go to the second. Getting the difference? What do you mean by break? And here also a condition. So if you want to have, okay, now this is AND. So in the AND, what is it? If one value is true and the other value is true, then both of them are called together as true. If one is true and the other one is false, it is false. If this is false and this is true, this is false. If this is false and this is false, what is it? It is false. Whereas the same thing if you take OR operator, okay, if it is true or true, any one of them has to be. So this is true. If it is true or if this is false, then true. Then if it is false or true, it will be true. If it is false or false, then it is false. Okay. So in case if you want to use OR, then you will say O. Okay. Wherein you can even have more than two conditions. So if I want to have one more, then I can say again -A or -O and specify this. Okay. Depending on your need, we can give that. Getting it?
Yeah. I have one question. So we have a two for loops are there. So the break two will break the second inner loop, right?
When you just say break, it will just break the current loop. When you say break two, it will also break two levels. So that is first break, and the next one is the inter or the outer loop, and that will also break. So it is going to break both of them.
So you mean to say that here we are specifying the how many loops are there, right? Suppose there are three
Yes,
loops, so we specify break three.
yes. Depending
Okay,
on how
okay.
many layers you are going to have, that many. Okay. So if you don't give anything, it's going to break only the current. Clear? Now, this is break. That means don't continue. Now, there is one more wherein sometimes for certain purpose, you don't have to just break, you just have to skip that iteration. What is iteration? One time it has to complete. So if you want to just skip one iteration and continue with the next iteration. So if you have such a scenario, then we call it as continue. So instead of break, if you give continue anywhere, it will directly bring to the end of the iteration. That's it. That means it will skip the current value. It will go to the next fresh iteration from the beginning. That is the only difference. Okay. Now let's analyze this with this example. So, so in this, what is that we are doing? I want to check whether it is a even or odd number. Okay. But in this, if it is a what? Even number, I don't want to do anything. Okay, I just want to skip and proceed further. See, I have to print whether it is even or odd. That is what I'm interested. But in that, now what I'm actually want is I don't want to print it as odd. I just want to skip if it is odd. That's it. This is where I want to print only if it is even number. So here, this is just an example. Now I have these numbers. So if I put it in for loop, what will happen? So here num in numbers. So when I say numbers, what will happen? All of them will come. So there will be how many total iterations? 7 iterations. Now, first what I'm doing, I'm trying to take dollar number module 2. So reminder, I'm storing it in. If it is an even number, it will be equal to 0. So that way the condition I'm checking is if the remainder is equal to 0, then I'm saying print this is even. After that, I'm saying continue. If I say continue, what will happen? It will just skip and go back to the next iteration directly. So now there is one more line, right? It will never come. So that way, if it is even, it will directly go. Suppose if it is odd, then the condition will never met. It will come here and just print blindly it is odd. So that way, if it is even, it will come inside and it will continue so that it will not even come here. It will go to the next one. Okay. Let's see this. Okay. But Guys, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Adam.
we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
It's not connected. One problem. Problem. Okay, let's see if it's going to achieve. That's
This we are connecting to cloud, right?
yes. Yeah, network issue. Now it's connected. Okay, now it's not printing. So let me take the number and we'll say dollar num dollar. Okay, now let's run it. So you can see when it comes, it says, but as soon as it goes into the even, it kind of skips. Okay. Okay. So getting it. So if I don't do, what will happen? Let's do one thing. Let's remove this continue. Okay. Then every time it is going to print the odd number also. You can see every time it comes to the end. Because if you don't give continue, it will finish this. Every time it will come to the next line and then it is going to complete. Whereas if you Run this, then it skips, and continue means it will go back to the next iteration. Whereas break means it is going to stop it exactly. Getting it? Now, go back. Yesterday I was asking you to take an average of some number, right? Now, assume the scenario where I have given an array, and in the array, if you have 0, then what will happen? What will happen if you have 0 in the array? Yesterday we did a loop, right? So what will happen if there is a 0 there? Do you get the logic what I'm saying? Let's assume this is the one. Okay. So I have 0 here, somewhere here. Let's assume 0. Now what I want you to do is take the average. Now if I'm taking average, okay. So what should I do now? I should add first everything. So this is where I can say something like sum equal to 0. So here I should say sum equal to expr dollar sum plus what? Dollar now. Okay. So this will keep on adding. But I also want to take the count. So now here, let's say count equal to 0. Now, every time it comes in, if I say count equal to expr dollar count plus 1. Okay. Now, if I want to take average, then what is it? Sum divided by. Okay. So now, tell me this. Let me keep only this. Okay. So sum equal to dollar sum. So count equal to dollar count. So now for me, what is the average? What should be the average? What is the average of this? It's actually 6 by 4, which is wrong because I don't want to take 0. So it should be dummy value. So it should be actually 6 by 3. But what will this take? It will take 6 by 4. So this is where, then what should I do now? So if I have a 0, then I should not consider it. This is where what you can do. Simply if you say if, what is the condition? Dollar num is equal to 0, then what should I do? What should I do? If I break, what will happen? It will completely come out. What if your zero is here?
Continue.
If I say break, then it will completely come out. So then I should say continue. This way it will just skip that. So that properly I will get sum is 6 and the count is 3. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Getting it? This is how, at any point of time, if you want to completely come out of the statement, you're going to use break. If you want to skip only that iteration, then you're going to use. Got it? Any questions?